του Transforming Legal και θα ξεκινήσει δίνοντάς μας λίγα insights σε ποιες είναι τα challenges αλλά και τα opportunities που μας δημιουργούν οι αλλαγές in the legal and compliance field. So, Thomas, without further ado, the floor is yours.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. And thank you so much for the introduction, Antigone, and thank you for the organizers having me. We've all had a good lunch, and it's not an easy time zone to be in after we filled up, but I like to have the energy back into the room that we had in the morning. And I want to share some insights with you that I have been gaining over the last 1.5 years after I left Bayer. I was the Global Chief on Compliance and Data Privacy at this company. I led the digital transformation for a very large legal and compliance team of 1,200 lawyers together with esteemed colleagues, and I now am the CEO and founder of Transforming Legal, one of the most dynamic digital transformation boutiques in the world. So let me start by joking a little bit. I am compliant with the AI disclosure laws by this speech. You probably ask yourself, what does that mean? Now, it's not enacted yet, but I would almost honestly predict that at some point these speeches are being written by AI, and there needs to be some disclosure how much AI is there. So I can wholeheartedly say in my speech, there's definitely less than 20% of AI, although I also confess that I ran it through ChatGPT at the end to polish it a little bit. Now, we all see a massive change in the way we do our work, and actually we are all tempted to let AI do our work. And frankly, I think that's not a bad thing. We are witnessing that our profession is actually becoming not obsolete, but optional. Because the other option is ChatGPT and other large language models, and they are unfortunately steadily taking over because they are available 24/7, they are basically free of charge, and for those who do not look for perfection and excellence, it may do the job. So if we do not rethink, as we heard in the morning, how we are supposed to do our work, the future may not need us anymore, and we may indeed become largely irrelevant. The good news from my point of view, there is hope, however, with a lot of work on our end to make it happen. I want to go back because we are at a very, very prestigious and historical place, and nobody has mentioned it so far. Athens, the heart of Greece. You may know ancient Greece and Rome contributed significantly to the development of legal systems. Here in Athens, the groundwork was laid with the first known written code of law by Draco in the 7th century before Christ. At that time, no jurist wrote any non-disclosure agreements. At that time, no jurist built in 6-minute increments. There were no job profiles or performance reviews. They were thinkers, mediators, human navigators in emotional human realities like betrayal, family disputes, crimes. They did not automate their services, they just delivered them. And they often stood in dusty rooms staring at someone and saying, that's justice, here's what fairness means to you. So the profession of law was born human in this city, and it needs to stay human. Now let's fast forward to today. We have AI tools that can do things not just junior, but also mid-level and maybe even senior associates can do now. However, without AI. Articulating complex things, reading complicated texts, drafting contracts, listen, summarize. We saw this in Word's keynote this morning. But I'd like to ask you, can AI feel the energy in this room? Can it actually say how it feels if you lose custody over your child in a matrimonial dispute? Can AI tell your CEOs, well, sir or lady, legally you're right, but ethically that's actually wrong? And can AI broker peace in a negotiation where actually nobody wins on paper, but everyone ultimately walks away because he or she thought, okay, it's fair. So AI cannot convince regulators that a client did do the right thing, but for the wrong reason. So these are all not codable skills, these are human moments, human activities, and they will remain human. So while AI can replicate our tasks, only we humans can build the trust. And the trust is our currency of the future. But if we don't change how we work, how we bill, how we measure the value added to clients and society, AI won't just replace us, it will replace trust as well. So let's just calm down for a second, because I think we are all in some sort of a legal treadmill, or what we call a corporate grinder, compliance hamster wheel, whatever your metaphor might be. I think we all agree practicing law is quite exhausting these days. So we need to redefine our profession. And I have a bit of a simple sentence for this. Do less to do more, not do more with less, which is, in my view, the very wrong paradigm here, because it's actually also a burnout strategy. Do less to do something that counts. And let's forget billable hours, 60-hour work weeks. Let's focus on presence. Time spent as leaders mentoring our colleagues, our own mental health, sleep, caring for our families, and actually also growing ourselves. Let's take AI what we don't want to do, so we can finally do what we want to do. So that's the question that you should ask. What do I want to do in my job now that I cannot do because of all the noise out there that I am not using AI yet? When AI takes that burden away, we all should feel the freedom. And imagine a world where we don't check our inboxes first thing in the morning, and where our cognitive load doesn't drown our ability to be good in-house lawyers or lawyers in a law firm or leaders. The goal of AI is not to replace human, we said it already, it's to replace our confinements, it's to liberate us. We have spent the last 20 years or more, me included, to ultimately looking to find the light at the end of the tunnel. I would say AI has the capability to take the tunnel away and just have us stand in bright light. I also want to say, because I see this in the world where my clients sometimes believe AI is just another trend, it will go away, or it's the internet bubble 2.0 and it will burst at some point. I completely disagree. It's a paradigm shift, and no matter whether you say it's hallucination or privacy or cybercrime, these are real concerns, don't get me wrong, but they cannot be excuses for much longer. When the car was invented, people worried about not having enough chauffeurs out there. And still, we build roads. So it's time to build new roads for legal services augmented by AI and not blocked by fear. I recently posted on LinkedIn, when humans make mistakes, we ask for forgiveness, but when machines make mistakes, we ask for their destruction. And we say humans are not perfect, and we mean it compassionately, but when an AI stumbles, we ask, can we ever trust this AI again? So let's please flip the script. And I give you a couple of data here. In surgery, human error, and this is actually a hard number, causes complications in up to 15% of cases. Robotic assisted surgeries, 1 to 2%, mostly again caused by human operation flaws. We had car driving this morning. fatal crashes, 94% human driver caused. When you look at the data Waymo has published, there was not a single crash with a lethal consequence. It's 10 times safer to be in a Waymo than in a human-driven taxi. So yes, we make mistakes, but actually machines tend to make fewer. So the wise thing for us is to not fear mistakes made by AI, but to put AI where it matters most. We often, you have heard maybe Richard Susskind say at the end of Lawyers, is it near? Some recently challenged him for saying this. And I think it's not the end either. It's a fork, however. So we need the brave lawyers, leaders, general counsels to redesign the practice. We need human transformers. So let me close. As long as there is bad human judgment, there will be lawyers. As long as there is human wrongdoing, there will be compliance professionals. As long as there is human error, there will be a need for better tech or systems. AI, however, gives us the power to reduce the noise. And I urge us to resist one thing, and we heard it this morning, to fill the space that we free up with new noise. Don't fall into the trap. Let AI read the documents, we read the room. Let AI build the facts for us so we can build the trust. AI is here to relieve us, it's here to return us to the human core of our profession, to guide us and to protect us. And AI may be 100 times more disruptive than the internet, but it will be 100 times more liberating than anything else. So with that, I'm really looking forward to this panel, because I say, let's make peace with AI, don't see it as an enemy, and let AI make peace for us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Thomas. Thanks a lot. So, Thomas, as long as there are human beings, there will be lawyers and compliance officers.
Yes.
I think that's a hopeful message.
We agree.
I'm joking. I keep from your speech the role of lawyers and compliance officers as guide and protectors. I liked it very much. We're going to come back on that. And I also keep the human and trust aspect, which again, we're going to comment a little later. So we have seen the